Our story begins in Los Angeles in 2030 with a man running like a madman, terrified. Imagine what he could be scared of. Suddenly, the entire population wants to kill him. Even private drivers stop specifically to kill him. After much struggle, he reaches the house of a poor woman who asks him, "What brought you here?" He pulls out a knife and says, "If you utter a word, I'll gouge out your eye and play with it." After a while, she tricks him and kills him with a nail gun, kicking him twice to make sure he's dead. People with weapons arrive and are upset that she killed him before they could. She takes a card from the dead man and tells her son, "Finally, we'll be rich." She breaks the card and the police arrive to confirm the man is dead. A reporter named Johnny enters with his crew and announces to the world that she won $22 million. We understand that it's a game involving millions of people where each day a random person wins, and whoever kills the winner before sunset wins the prize. If no one kills the winner, the prize is theirs, but no firearms like machine guns or pistols are allowed. On the same day, we see a girl named Kitty, a failed actress, arriving in Los Angeles for acting audition. The woman next to her says, "You look poor. Take care of yourself, dear. People here are thieves." Kitty thanks her for the advice, calling her a respectable woman. The woman grabs her hand and says, "Don't say that. You're like my daughter. Goodbye, I'm getting off here." Kitty tells her to take care and asks if she needs money. The woman admits she does, and Kitty says she also needs money. After a while, Kitty checks the time and realizes her watch was stolen. She calls the woman a thief. She arrives at the room she booked online and is surprised it's different. The room owner, Isla, says they use different pictures to attract customers. When Kitty sits on the bed, it collapses, but she has to stay because it's cheap. Isla's fiancé DJ arrives and tells her about the lottery prize being $36 billion tomorrow. Kitty, not understanding the competition, asks them to leave the room so she can sleep. The next day, she wakes up to water dripping on her face and discovers the neighbor's bathroom above her. Even her audition clothes are ruined. She calls Isla, complaining about the situation. Isla tells her to wear her clothes from the closet. Kitty does so and heads to the audition with half an hour left before the lottery draw. She arrives at the audition, sees other girls, and performs her scene. The director tells her, "Nice, and don't show your face here again." At that moment, Kitty's card buzzes, and she accidentally registers for the game, not understanding what the card is or why it took her picture. She leaves upset because she failed the audition. While she was walking, it was announced that she won the prize, and chaos ensued. The first person grabbed a chair and hit her friend on the head. With it, another person saw a shoe and threw it at her. Our protagonist ran away not understanding what was happening. She ended up hiding in a karate training hall where all the guys attacked her. The captain said, "No one kills her but me," and picked her up, spinning her around before breaking through a wall with her. She found herself in a gymnastics hall where everyone knew she was the winner and attacked her. The karate guys reached the office and argued over who would kill her until the coach grabbed her by the neck and said, "No one kills her but me." Just as he was about to kill her, Noel arrived and knocked him into the wall. He told her, "Don't be afraid. I'm a bodyguard. I'll protect you for 10% of the prize deal, or I'll kill you and take the whole prize." She agreed, and he tied her to his back to protect her, taking out everyone in the room. He untied her and put her on his back. Then a guy with anemia entered, Noel said. "If I hit you, I'll feel sorry for you. I'll count to 3. If you don't leave, I'll fold you in half." The guy left saying, "Okay, boss, I'm out." They left the building, and we learned that a drone was filming her every 15 minutes, sending her location to the game participants. They found a car and drove away. She asked, "What kind of game is this where people want to kill us? I need to quit this game." He told her the only solution was to escape the city, even if it meant losing his share. She felt he might kill her for the money instead of helping her escape. The whole city was chasing them, and if they stopped, they would die. A girl jumped into the car and tried to stab her with a knife. Noel told her to drive while he dealt with the girl. He kicked her out of the car, but unfortunately the car broke down. Kitty tried to run, but Noel caught her. She accused him of wanting to kill her for the prize. He denied it, saying he wanted to protect her. The police arrived, and she sarcastically asked if he had anything to say before getting arrested. She complained to the police, but they were there to kill her. Noel saved her again, and they escaped before getting caught. She grabbed a magazine to hide her face and realized the drone had pinpointed her location. When people saw the drone, they knew the contestant was nearby and started searching for her with weapons. She hid in a wax museum, luckily unseen. Isla called and asked where she was. Kitty apologized for the delay in returning the clothes, explaining it was beyond her control. Isla reassured her and asked for her exact location. Kitty told her she was in the wax museum and asked her not to tell anyone. Isla and DJ arrived intending to kill her, but Kitty defended herself with a stick and locked them in the museum. People saw her and got off the bus to kill her, but Noel arrived and took her away. She apologized, admitting she was afraid he would kill her. He told her it wasn't the time for apologies, as the drone would locate them in 3 minutes, and they would all be in trouble. She suggested finding an anti-bomb shelter to hide in. He agreed and took her to a guy named Jack, who had a secret shelter in his villa. Jack thought they were thieves and tried to rob them. Noel told him he was crazy, asking if any thief would enter through the front door. Suddenly, a bus full of people arrived, and they had no time. They threatened Jack and forced their way in, demanding he write the shelter's password. They entered the shelter just as people stormed the villa. Kitty shot Jack with an arrow to knock him out so he wouldn't reveal the password. They admired the shelter and watched everything happening on the screen. They started talking and getting to know each other better. Kitty shared her failed acting career and lack of future prospects. Then she asked him why he was helping her withdraw from the game. He told her, "The most important thing to me is saving lives. Money is the last thing on my mind." We discover that Isla and DJ have arrived. Isla grabs Jack and keeps hitting him to wake him up, but it's no use. She drags him and throws him into the swimming pool, and he finally wakes up. She manages to get the password for the door from him, and the group watches everything happening in detail. Noel takes action and calls a friend, asking him to hack the phones of the people there and blow them up. It works, and everyone gets injured. They use the chaos to escape, but Noel sees a guy on fire and tries to put it out with his foot. The guy yells, "Watch out, man, you're crushing my leg." They leave the villa and are surprised by guards standing with an armored car. They ask Kitty to come with them quietly or they'll take her dead. She insists on taking her bodyguard with her, and they agree. She sits there not understanding where they're going. They arrive at the agency's headquarters and meet Lewis. The leader, he tells her, "I envy you for staying alive this long. Most people don't last 15 minutes before they die, but I want you to know you're safe here. My job is to protect people for 30% of the prize." She agrees to his terms. They go to the clinic to treat their injuries. Kitty tells Noel her story, saying, "My dad abandoned me, leaving me alone, and my mom is sick. Since then, I've been working any job to afford her treatment. I came here for auditions, but it didn't work." Out Noel shares his story, saying, "I used to work with a group of mercenaries, and Luis out there was with me. One day, I refused a mission and decided to quit. Because of that, all the soldiers died in the operation except Luis. Since then, he hates me." A girl enters and tells Kitty that Luis will move her to a safe place until sunset to ensure she wins the prize. She brings a device and asks Kitty to put her face in it to create a special mask so no one will recognize her. Kitty makes a mask of an old man, but Noel looks worried. He tells her, "I feel like Louis wants to isolate you to kill you and take the prize." Kitty doesn't believe him. Louis enters and takes them to the garage, asking Kitty to get in one car and Noel in another. Kitty realizes Louis might betray her and kill her, so she kicks him below the belt. Suddenly, people storm the place to kill her, but luckily no one recognizes her. She takes one of Louis' cars and escapes, but Louis captures Noel and beats him until his bones break. After Kitty escapes, Louis calls her and starts blackmailing her, saying he'll kill Noel. She asks, "What do you want now?" He tells her to meet him at the downtown theater immediately. There are exactly 16 minutes left until sunset. Determined to save Noel, who saved her multiple times, she takes a gun and heads to the theater. She finds Louis waiting with Noel handcuffed. She tells him, "If you don't let him go now, I'll kill myself and you'll lose the prize." He says, "Easy. I'll wipe your fingerprints from the gun and put mine on it." She tells him, "Great idea, but I'm live streaming and the whole world is watching." He tells her to drop the gun. She agrees but asks him to free Noel first. Just as she's about to kill herself, he tells her to wait and throws the handcuff key to Noel. He asks, "What's this?" She says, "I knew you had a good heart. Take the gun." Suddenly she kicks him hard, but people storm the place before she can save Noel. She leaves him to defend herself, and thankfully Noel frees himself and fights Louis, preventing him from killing Kitty. There are only 4 minutes left until sunset and the end of the game. More people enter, and Kitty finds herself in trouble. She climbs the theater set to stay safe, but people keep chasing her. Noel gets rid of Louis and starts breaking the stage props to stop anyone from following her. Louis's men form a human ladder, and Louis manages to reach her. He grabs her by the neck and says, "You're end is at my hands. She slips and hangs onto the metal bars. We discover she took a grenade pin from Louis's pocket with her medallion and jumps away from him. The grenade explodes, killing him finally. The game ends with her in the air, and people save her because she won the prize. Reporter Johnny arrives and presents her with the prize. The lucky girl wins the largest amount in the game's history, $36 billion. Days pass, and she opens giant companies, a shelter for children, helps the needy, and lives happily with him. The movie ends with this scene.